Greetings. Hi. Hey. It's your girl, Perp 30, the energy healer, here to give a little insight into my mind for the day. Greetings. I want to share about self-care, simplifying it, and giving my perspective of what self-care is and why I'm so deeply passionate about it. I have 3 tiers of self-care that I want to go over today. Real simple. I was trying to go live on my YouTube, but had some technical difficulties. So here I am. Instagram, greetings. So I got 3 tiers of self-care that we're going to be going over today. I'm extremely passionate about it because it's a little bit more intricate than getting your hair done, nails done, soft girl life. I think it's very important for us as a collective to delve a little deeper in how we're taking care of ourselves, really understanding what is care anyways, because it's a lot of things that we can be giving our care to, and I feel like self is the most important. So we're gonna go over what self is, what care is, and the 3 tiers of self-care. Okay, so send this to someone, send this to your loved ones, send this to your community who, might need a little reminder about how important taking care of their self is and what self-care is and how simple it could be. Okay, so take y'all a couple of moments to do that. Send this off to about 3 people, just 3 people. Get us 3 in here. And we can get into it. I'm not gonna make this too long because again, it's simple. Okay, these things are simple. I did say simple, I did not say easy. Okay, so when we delve into them, especially the 3rd tier of self-care, it's not as easy as people would love it to be. So I know that's why a lot of people don't take care of themselves, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's easy to give our care to them and they than it is to us and we. Okay, so making sure that we emphasize on how important we are, how important us is as a collective, is also my purpose for bringing this into awareness. My purpose is because my principles is peace, unity, reciprocity, pleasure, love, and expansion, and self-care exemplifies those values. Okay, exemplifies those principles. So I definitely want to get on here and talk about it. Spirit has been heavy on my ass about the self-care, so I know that we can definitely all use the reminder. All right, so let's get into it. So I looked up the word care. Okay, I looked up the word care. Let's really get an understanding of what self-care is as we're getting into the depths of it. The word care originates from Old English, and its meaning is to cry out, to be concerned about. So that's reflecting a really deep emotional connection to something. Okay, so when we're talking about our care, urgent care, intensive care, self-care, we're crying out and we're concerned about something. Okay, so how concerned are you with your damn self? That's the question. How concerned are you with your damn self, or are you more concerned with anything external from you or somebody else's business or anything else? So that's why let's take it back to the self. Okay, be concerned about your damn self. Okay, that's top tier. That's top tier luxurious and lifestyle. Okay, it's caring about yourself. All right, so when we define self-care, it refers to the intentional activities and practices that individuals engage in to maintain and improve their physical, their emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. So we're going to give our concern our own. We're going to give our concerns to our own mental well-being, our own emotional well-being, our spiritual well-being, and our mental well-being. Okay, this is very important to do because a lot of things externally are asking for us to be concerned, but again, we only got so much care, so many fucks to give, really. So how many fucks are you giving to things external, and how many are you giving to yourself? So make sure that most of them are pertaining to your own physical. When you caring about somebody else, really ask yourself, how does this pertain to my physical health, to my emotional health, my mental, my spiritual well-being? Okay, those are very key aspects when we're talking about self-care, because I know that a lot of people will be like, okay, I'm about to take care of myself. I do self-care. I'm going to do the simple things, go get my nails done or something. But like, really in those moments, how much concern are you with your mental, emotional, spiritual well-being? Okay. So this self-care is really important because it's also our ego. Okay, I know a lot of spiritualists like to talk about killing the ego or ego death, all of these things, but our ego is really important. That's what the self is. In the first tier of self-care is taking care of our own identity. It's our human experience. Okay, so we are humans. We are in these physical bodies. Okay, so we do have a ego self that is needing for us to be concerned about. We can't kill that off. We got to make sure that we're understanding that our identity and our human experience is just as important as that spiritual existence as well. So that's important for the first tier of self-care. All right, so the traditional concept of self-care really focuses on more physical health. It focuses on practices like eating well. It focuses on the luxurities rather than the necessities. But in any aspect, to me, I really get to thinking like, how can we categorize things such as our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health as luxuries? Like, I feel like those things are quite necessary in this space and time, especially when there is an attack on us, not just physically. There is many attacks. We are magnetic beings, and as magnetic beings, there is constantly things being attracted to us, and a lot of those things aren't safe. A lot of those things aren't good for us. A lot of those things aren't necessarily concerned about your mental, your spiritual, your emotional well-being. So we have to take the accountability. We have to take the responsibility to be concerned about that and taking care of those things, and make it necessary for them to be done. Okay, make those things necessary to be done. So I'm gonna take a couple little sips of water because I'm getting a little. It's I don't know. It's really hot in here. Yes, gems. Practicing these qualities can definitely elevate us in our emotional intelligence, whether it's internal or when interacting with others. Exactly. So yes, we're going to talk about how it's important to take care of yourself in relation to interactions with others, because a lot of people want to be selfish to the extent of where we're not really thinking about how ourself is also a part of a collective. Like, how we take care of ourselves is extremely important when we're talking about collectivizing. You're a part of a family, you're a part of an organization, you're a part of a society, you're a part of a nation. So you're not just an individual and that's it. Yes, your individual, your identity, your personal expression, your personal experience is extremely important when we're talking about the self, but it's also important when we're talking about collectivizing. We're just one piece of a puzzle here, okay? So how you take care of yourself, just like the cells in the body, if you a cancerous ass, toxic ass person, and that's all you bring into the collective, we gonna need you to evaluate that. Okay, we need to be concerned about that as well. Happy Moon Day. We need to be concerned about everyone's health as well as our own. You know, we need how our health is impacting the collective. Okay, that's why self-care is so important, because you can't be a cancerous, selfish, toxic ass individual and then try to come up in the party and get the toxic shits all up over. Okay, that's not gonna fly. Okay, we got to be concerned about that. Hey there. It says selfish and seen more than being understood, and understanding others were kind of rewired with this selfish mentality, while also being selfish collectively, because it's also promoted for everyone to. Exactly. So yes, like I said, it's very important for us to, self-care is not selfish, okay? It's taking care of yourself in reference to making sure that you are physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually well, so that when we do connect with other people, it's not a toxic connection, it's not cancerous, it's not bringing down the whole, that you are understanding that you're able to stand firm in your individuality and be a pillar within society, okay? So a lot of times, especially when we get to that third tier, when people get into they God bodies and their spiritual positions and whatnot, we kind of forget that the self, this identity, this ego part has to also be connected, and that we are interconnected with one another. So how well you're taking care of yourself may just be very important, but is it well enough to intertwine? Is it well enough to interconnect? How are you concerning others? Okay, how are you concerning others? Because remember, we said that care means to be concerned about. Someone send me your page, but I'm definitely intrigued now. We'll continue to follow your journey, supporting gratitude, please do. Yes, so let's continue here, because like I do got my notes here, and I'm gonna get through them. Okay, so we talked about the traditional concepts of self-care, where we really focus on physical health, and these practices really are like exercise, nutrition, and they're often seen as luxuries rather than necessities. But like I said, I feel like our health is something that is not necessarily luxurious. We can luxuriate in the healthiness. We can definitely live a lifestyle free and healthy. I love that. I'm all about that type of lifestyle, but it's necessary for well-being. It's necessary for us as a collective, for each and every one of us to take care of themselves. And as we evolve, this is how we get to those 3 tiers. We've evolved where self-care now is on a broader spectrum. The broader spectrum outside of just the physical health is also our mental health, our emotional health. And a lot of us, especially I think we millennials, we have really come to a more deeper understanding of how emotions, our mental health impacts our physical health. So if we don't take care of how we thinking about the world collectively, how we're feeling, and how that impacts not only our health but impacts each other, we really not evolving as a species, and we damn near about to kill our damn self, and humans ain't gonna exist if we don't start evolving with it, evolving and taking care of our mental and our emotional as well as our spiritual well-being. So that leads to more of a holistic understanding of who we are, a more holistic understanding of our impact as human beings. We're not machines, we're not brainless, we're not just get up and keep moving, or just have babies and just keep. We have to think about the care. We got to be concerned about how we're evolving and what we're evolving into. Okay, that's why self-care is very important, because we have been evolving into, look where we at right now. It's 2024. We got 2025 campaigns and shit coming up and all of these things, and if we looking outside of us and seeing how things are being presented to us, we really got to take a look within and see how separated, how unaligned we may be on an internal level as well, because while we can just be like, oh, that's not me, that's not mine, it's still the world that we're living in. So on some type of level, we are experiencing these things that's happening externally. So we got to be very mindful of that. And while I don't subscribe to a lot of stuff, I do know, and I'm very much aware that they exist. So for me, if we ain't all free, none of us ain't free, okay? So while I'm over here talking about I'm living a free and healthy lifestyle, in one part of my mental capacity, there might be some parts of my mind or some parts of my heart where I'm free and I'm healthy. But when I know that this shit going on over here in this country, or this thing going on over here in the hood that I just grew up from or rise above, we have to still be concerned about them, because we are just one part of a whole thing. And if that other part of that whole thing is contaminated, it's gonna get to you some way, somehow. You can only ignore it for so long, okay? So that's where the evolution comes in. So let's talk about the difference between superficial self-care and a deeper and more holistic type of self-care, okay? So like I had mentioned already, that superficial self-care can often be like quick fixes. Like the word self-care in itself is kind of like a trending topic, or when they talking about like relieving a little bit of stress, like having a spa day, or off day, or some bubble baths, or just kind of relieving some stress on an everyday tip, but it don't really address the underlying issues. If you take one spa day, but yet tomorrow you go to that toxic ass job, that's still energetically affecting you. So one spa day, one off day, one bubble bath, not really gonna do a lot to change the circumstance, okay? And we gotta think about that. That's on a micro level. You going to a toxic ass job or being in a toxic relationship, if you're not really addressing the toxicity, you taking a bath or you having a spa day, going to get a massage one time, ain't really gonna do too much. It can help, it feel good for that day, but it's really not going to the depths of it. So that's a little superficial. We want to get deeper here. We want to get deeper and more holistic. Let's talk about the whole thing. Let's talk about why the hell you still with that nigga. Let's talk about why you still fucking with the man. Let's talk about it. Get more deeper and take care of yourself, because that's the type of shit I'm concerned about. Okay, that's the type of self-care that I'm talking about, the deep shit. All right, why do we have this collective idea where we feel like somebody's going to come and save us, where we're concerned about an election or anything? That's the deeper self-care, because we are a collective here. This is America. We are citizens of a beautiful country that we have the rights and the abilities to take control of, but we're leaving it all to someone else. So let's get deeper. Let's think deeper and think about ourselves as a body, because the United States of America is a body, a collective of individuals, and each and every person on it is like a part of the body. Each state is a part of that body. Each person is a cell within it. And like I was just talking about earlier, some motherfuckers is cancerous. So we got to start being concerned about these cancer cells, and we got to start taking care of within, so that we can see it without, see the effects of these things without, okay, on a deeper tip. So really, let's get a little deeper now. Let's talk about care a little bit more deeper, okay? Because I really love the power of our words. I love to emphasize the power of our words, and how I just gave the definition of it, but let's go a little deeper. Let's really break this down here. So care as compassion, okay? Because we're concerning ourselves about someone, and so we're nurturing ourselves with kindness. We're nurturing ourselves. We're talking about self-care, so we're concerned about ourselves, okay? We're passionately nurturing ourselves with kindness and understanding. We understand that that's the foundation of all type of growth. If you want to eat better, if you want to think better, if you want to live a healthier life, that's you giving compassion to yourself. Okay, that's you being compassionate to yourself. But then we also have compassion as attention. Okay, because our attention, care as attention. We also have to think about care as attention, because when we're concerned about something, we're giving our attention to it, and our attention is extremely valuable. Thank you so very much for your attention at this time. I really appreciate it. Gratitude, because that's so very valuable to me. And being mindful and present with your own needs, and making sure that you are giving that attention to yourself and giving your attention to things that your body is asking for, that things that will promote more health and wellness. Because your attention to me right now, that's my intention, was to get some attention. I'm over here like, hey, let's talk about self-care simplified. Hey, because I'm concerned. I would like for others to be concerned about the self. I would like for others to be concerned about their health and the state of our collective at this time. That's me asking for some attention, okay, about what's being needed. I'm listening to my body and my mind, and what is required is for people's attention to come to how impactful ourselves are to the collective. Okay, I know this is a different type of way of looking at things, but I feel like it's very important and potent. So the next one is care as responsibility. That kind of goes into the attention too. Care as responsibility. So taking charge of your own well-being and acknowledging that self-care is an essential responsibility rather than a luxury. Okay, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our well-being and our position within the whole is a responsibility. It's not just a luxurious thing at this point, because like I said, this nation, this city, whatever city you're in, the job you're in, the family you're in, you're one part of it. Okay, you're a body part of it. You're a cell within a whole thing. So if you're cancerous, you're toxic, you are not full, then that's going to be that's essentially going to be affecting the whole. So that's why self-care is so fucking valuable. Okay, it's not, so it's a responsibility. And like, I know that everybody ain't built for the life of taking care of themselves to that magnitude, but for those who are, really, really understand and take charge of it. Okay, and then so we already talked about the superficial self-care. I came on here to talk about 3 different types of self-care. We talked about superficial self-care, and then we talked about like a deeper, more holistic self-care that involves us nurturing other parts of ourselves other than just the physical, other than just thinking about spa days and alleviating the addressing just the topical parts of what's affecting us and going just a little bit deeper. So that's the deeper holistic. But now we finna talk about something that only a few of us really, really, really want to be concerned about. Because again, care means to be concerned. And not all of us are concerned about our soul self, okay? Not all of us are concerned about our well-being of the soul and the deepest essence of who we are and our whole authentic selves, the self that came here for a fucking mission and that came here for a purpose, okay? Not everybody concerned about that. So if it ain't you, then don't even sweat this. Click, gone, bye, not talking to you. But many people that I know that my purpose is here to talk to, me taking responsibility for myself and making sure that I'm showing the fuck up for us, because the soul self is what's connecting you to source, okay? That's what's connecting you to more than just, like I said, the superficial That's deeper than the holistic, okay, my health, my mind, body, and my mental, and just my day-to-day, and how I'm connecting with the others and all those. This is a soul self that's able to see yourself as a cell within this collective, okay, because you have a mission here. That's the deepest essence of who you are, okay? And that goes beyond the societal expectations. That goes beyond external influences. That's very important, okay? So connecting with your soul self is very crucial, and it's crucial for you to have full fulfillment within life. Because like I said, we can go get a bubble bath. Yeah, that's going to do very little for someone who's not really concerned with their soul self, who's not caring for their soul self. That's going to do very little. It's going to do very little for you being able to live and show up authentically and purposefully in life if you're not taking care of your soul self. And different ways that you can take care of your soul self is by practicing meditation, of course, being mindful, being like mindfulness practice. I talk about mindfulness practices on here all the time. I try to make them as simple as possible. I just went through a whole journey of making sure that I'm taking care of my own damn soul self. So I was a little bit out there for a little minute, but I'm back to connect with the ego self and the first level of self, so that I am able and align with all aspects of self, because that's very important. Aligning all aspects of self. Journaling is another way to connect with your soul self, care for your soul self. Doing journaling every day, really exploring your personal values, exploring your desires, your emotions, and really uncovering different layers of yourself. That's important, okay? And of course, connecting with nature. Connecting with nature, whatever nature that is for you, because that could be a lot of different things for some people, what the source energy is. But outside in nature, the trees, the grass, the things that come from the earth, okay, is the most potent way to connect with nature, and seeing how we are very much a representation of nature, and how contrasted that is with the stuff that's external from nature. And that will help you get a more a purer, more connected experience with your soul self, because you'll be able to see, oh, the trees don't take selfies in order to grow. The trees don't look for validation. The trees don't gotta go vote for who the hell finna make us a whole forest, you know? So just seeing how nature operates really helps you connect with your soul self and get you the values and the things that you need to do to order to connect here on the physical level. I got similar downloads this rising. Oh, yes. And that's why I'm like, let me make sure that I get on here and talk about this, because I know it be seeming like it's self-explanatory type of stuff, but it's really not. You know, it's really not. And I feel like collectively that's our duties. You doing your duties, how you doing yours, and I be having to make sure that I'm doing mine with sharing these things and these insights and these perspectives from source for real. So again, this was just self-care simplified, and the simplest way that we can break it down, just based it on the words. What do the words mean? What is the self? The self is our identity. The self is how we show up, okay? What is care? Care is to be concerned about something. What are you concerned about? If you're not concerned about your own health, if you're not concerned about your mental emotions, your spiritual evolution, your spiritual connection, then what the fuck is you concerned about? Okay? And yeah, just implementing those things into your daily life is very important. So like I said, I'm just coming from a journey of exploring myself on the deepest levels, and I'm so grateful for the journey. Okay. And I've collectivized all of I've collected, documented, and collected all of the things that I've explored and experienced into many different creations. Okay. Many different creations, so that I could share with others, so that I can make a point of, it's got to be a point for me and myself to be going through all the shit I done been through, y'all. I'm tell you the truth. Your girl done been through a lot. I don't look like what I've been through all the time, but I've been through quite a bit, and I know that Source had always protected me and made me through and pulled me through it all in order to be able to create very powerful tools of self-discovery to share with, that I could use every day, and also share with those who care. Okay. Share with those who care, who are concerned with their self. So there's one very powerful tool, quite a few. So I have the Knowledge of Self report, of course, that helps to give you a blueprint of your soul purpose. Okay. Of your unique human design. That's what it gives you, a blueprint of your unique human design, so that you can have, it can answer some questions about your experience, because I know that's why we go to psychics, and that's why we be dating these raggedy ass niggas, and that's why we be having these experiences where we're just trying to find ourselves, you know. So why not invest in something that will give you a little bit more insight on a scientific, and not just modern sciences, but ancient sciences that could, you know, help you out along the way. Let's rely on science sometimes, and not the white coats. If we gon' go to the doctors, why not just rely on the numbers, the patterns, the cycles? These are things that people have been relying on to answer their questions, the cycles, the moon, the nature. Okay, let's rely on these things to get these answers for our experiences, because that's the purest way to do it. So anyway, the Knowledge of Self report helps you do that, and I have created that based off of human design, and it's very powerful. So that's one of the tools I have. And if you've already gotten your human design or your Knowledge of Self report, I also have a 30-day creative life strategy that I basically make a day-to-day, a 30-day routine, schedule, goal, plan, strategic plan, in order for you to live your authentic self for 30 days, to get into the practice of really focusing on your nutrition, focusing on your exercises, focusing on your rituals, focusing on the remedies that you can do to tune in, just mindfulness every day. And sometimes we be knowing we need to do some shit, but don't know how to do it. Don't be knowing. So of course we be looking externally to that magnitude, but make sure that when you are looking external for something, that whatever it is that you end up picking up directs your ass back to yourself. Okay. And every single one of my tools that I offer here is always a direction back to yourself. I'm just guiding you back to you, because I know that there are so many things that can get us distracted, and we're here for each other. That's the whole point. That's why it's very important for you to take care of yourself, so I can have somebody to depend on. You ain't just the toxic next door neighbor. You ain't the toxic fucking citizen of the same society. We all have knowledge of self and have applied that knowledge of self, so we can be our fullest selves, y'all. We got to be our fullest selves for one another, for your children, for your families, for the 7 years ahead of you, for the 7 years behind you. Okay, it's time to really tap into that, and not what's on these fucking socials, not what's on these news, not what's in these politics, what's in these governing bodies, because we are all self-regulating beings. We don't need anybody or anything to regulate us. Ain't nobody telling your lungs to collapse and relapse. Inhale, exhale. That's happening on its own. Okay, so you are a self-regulating individual. So how you wake up every day and be mindful of what you're intaking and consuming every day, that's on you. That's on you. And what you get out of those things is on you as well. So make sure that you're not thinking that taking care of yourself is a luxury. Make sure that's a necessity for you. And it ain't got to cost a damn thing. You can go sit out by a tree for free and sit and shut the fuck up and inhale and exhale. That's for free. Okay? You don't need to vote for nobody or nothing to meditate for 15 minutes. That shit's free. YouTube free too. I also have some 15 minutes or less visualization meditations that I recorded and put on my YouTube channel. You can look them up at the Perp 30 if you need some help getting tuned with your mind's eye. Okay, to give you a reminder that you are creating this reality within your own mind's eye. And if it's some things within your reality that you would like to change, it starts right there with you. Starts right there with your choices. And sometimes the choice is to ask for some help. Okay, and that's why I had to choose. Maybe your help could be a knowledge of self report. You ain't gotta hear from me. I'm just type in the numbers and shit. But it may be a little bit deeper. You may want to talk to a professional. And I am a professional, okay? But if you want somebody that got a white coat or whoever the hell you need, get the help that you need, okay? But it's not dependent on anyone else. It's you and your choices. It's your choice to say, I need help with this. I need some support. Let me get that. That's caring for yourself. That's being concerned about the quality of life that you're experiencing, okay? And I know that it's not, please know that it's not extra, it's not weird, it's not too sensitive of a topic or any of those things. Nothing's too sensitive a topic at these days. Y'all know it's people, they got whole fucking pride months. They got whole, it's all kind of communities out here, okay? So if motherfuckers can get a whole month for some shit that they do in their private time, what you do with your mental health and what you need for your health and well-being can be very much so normalized as well, okay? That's my whole point. I want everybody to live however they want to live, but not in shame. Make sure that you're seeking the support that you need, and it don't got to get to the point where you got to have a whole fucking revolution about it. You just get the support you need. And once you start living in your authentic self, people that are in alignment with you will gravitate towards you as well. So just taking that first step. And that first step might just very well be sitting in meditation. The visualization meditations by the Perp 30 is on the Perp 30 YouTube, Healing Women of Color. It's like more than 10 of them on there, so pick which one resonates with you. The colors, the graphics, the wording, all of those things are very intentional to help you tap into a certain frequency that could transform your life. So that's another thing that I got. I don't know how many minutes I've been on here, but something else that I will be sharing, it's my first time sharing it on here, is the Soul Self-Care Training. I'm going to be starting Soul Self-Care Training August 1st, and that'll go every week to the end of August. I wanted to potently use that energy. I'm going to talk more about it because it's very intentional. It's very intentional, the dates that are selected within that, the Soul Self-Care Training, because we got the 8-8 portal in there. We got Venus going into Virgo, baby. When Venus going to Virgo, let me just let y'all know, if you ain't taking care of yourself, and if you're not, I'm going to be in space, holding space for individuals to learn how to the most the most optimum self-care that you could possibly ever find. To me, I mean, of course, there's some self-care if it resonates differently, but from a Venus in Virgo that's been doing the work on self for some time now, I have the space and the place for it, okay? Come August 1st, we'll be starting. I'm going to put the link. I'm probably drop that flyer and the link and all that after I get off of here. But if you're interested, please hit me up in the inbox. Hit me up in the inbox. I'll send it over to you personally and give you more details about it, because I'm looking for people who are concerned about their soul self-elevation, okay? Who are concerned about their quality of life, their place in this life, okay? Their place within this collective. That's very important, because people who just want to do whatever everybody else is doing and concerned about some shit that ain't gonna help nobody and none of that shit, this not for you. This is for people who are concerned about connecting with their soul self, their purpose, being authentic and true to them, so that we can collectively evolve, okay? Because if we can self-destruct if we not concerned about the right shit. We as a whole species of humans, and we got children that will be in this world years from now. So how are you adding to them? I know it's a shit show out here right now. Okay, cool. We done what we could up until this point. Now all we can do is see what is disconnected or disaligned internally, so that we can all evolve externally, okay? We gotta really look at our spirits. We gotta look at our spirits and see how they aligning with what we doing on the physical and every day. And that's the soul self speaking. That's how you see from the soul self, and that's how you care for yourself from a soul level. And see how your spirit and your physical is aligning. Those are the 3 pillars of self-care. It's real simple, and none of that shit easy. Even the superficial shit be not so easy. Going to get a bubble bath when your ass been working 45 hours a week or 80 hours a week, and people be doing some crazy shit and be having a lot going on, okay? Just going, never sitting with self, never listening to self, never have a quiet moment, never have a concern for themselves. Just consume. This, whatever comes, consume. Never nurturing, never really even internalizing the effects of what they're even consuming. And I see it, and it concerns the fuck out of me. But it don't concern me enough to not do something about it myself. It ain't concerning me to make myself go crazy thinking that the shit is okay. So I want to make sure that the other individuals who are at that level, who are fed up with the disconnect from self, have a space. And so that space will be soul self-care training starting August 1st. It'll be me hosting the space, and I have three amazing guests that will come in and share their gifts. Y'all know I'm all about sharing my stage, okay? Because I can't do everything. We are not the same. I only do what I do. And I want everybody to do what they do to the top fullest of how they do it. And I need those skills to be in the place and those gifts to be up in the place. So I picked 3 hand-selected, 3 amazing individuals, 3 amazing goddesses to share their gifts with us and take us through some exercises, because I just be doing my thing, okay? Just be doing my thing, and I'm gonna share that in this space. But yeah, how y'all taking care of yourself, okay? How concerned are you with your well-being is basically it. That's basically the moral to the story. So again, share this with somebody. I'm sure that I've said some things that you probably never heard on here before. Those 3 pillars of self-care, and not in this way, because it came from here. Just how I think of it. And that'll be all. Peace, y'all. Peace, unity, reciprocity, pleasure, love, and expansion to you and yours.